virtual good morning, folks. Good to have you here with us. And today we're going to be talking about kindness. So I am going to be kind and spare you my usual corny jokes. And what I am going to do instead is let a professional entertain us today. So here we go, Reverend Edwene Gaines. And while that's coming up, my real quick joke that Jude wasn't on, here she goes. Okay, here she went.
I was in my late 20s when I decided that my life was a mess, really, really a mess, and that I had to find a way to make myself a life that didn't suck. You know, and I was a single mom and working 2 jobs and didn't have any money at all. And I didn't really want much, you know. All I really wanted at the time was a car that knew the meaning of a round trip. I was reminded during this time that even though I didn't have any money, I could go to the library and I could read those books. And I went in and checked out everything they had that was self-help. Norman Vincent Peale, Napoleon Hill, Maxwell Maltz. And I read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. And in that book, he has one line that reminded me of a childhood experience. Napoleon Hill writes, "Directed faith makes every thought crackle with power." When I read that, I remembered that when I was a little girl, about 12, my little brother, who was about 6 at the time, came into my bedroom one November, and he said to me, "Edwene, guess what I'm going to get for Christmas?" Well, you know how you care about your little brother at that age. I said, "What?" He said, "I'm going to get a pony." I said, "Sure you are. I wanted a pony all my life. I never got a pony. What makes you think you're going to get a pony?" He said, "Santa Claus is going to bring me one." Well, in my infinite wisdom, I decided to enlighten him about how the packages got in the trees and who wrapped them and who ate the cookies and drank the milk. And I said, "And that's why you're not going to get a pony for Christmas." Well, my little brother drew himself up, put his hands on his hips, looked me straight in the eye, and he said, "Edwene, that's what you think." And he walked out of the room. Well, his confidence shook me a little. So I went to my mother. I said, "Are you getting him a pony for Christmas or what?" My mother said, "No, honey, he just played. Leave him alone. He's not bothering you. We're not going to get him a pony." Well, immediately I felt better. But I noticed that my brother lived in a world where he was getting a pony for Christmas. He got a little stick horse and he rode around the house. He found an old wash tub. He was going to put the water in. He found an old army blanket. He was going to use his pony blanket. Dug around the bathroom. He found an old hairbrush. He was going to use to brush the mane and tail. My brother got ready for his pony. And as I watched him, I began to think, well, maybe he knows something I don't know. So I went to my father. I said, "Now look, you need to tell me the truth. Are you getting him a pony for Christmas?" My dad said, "No, honey, leave him alone. He's not bothering you. You just go play. Let him alone. We're not giving him a pony." So again, I felt better. But then I began to think about how disappointed he was going to be at Christmas. And so I began to suggest some other things. How about some Tinker toys? Or when you like a little train set? He said, no, Edwene, I'm getting a pony for Christmas. So I just let it be. Well, as it happened, a couple of weeks before Christmas, my father was invited to go on a hunting trip down near the King Ranch in South Texas, about an hour and a half from where we live. And, you know, they got up real early in the morning. You know how hunters do, get up before God and everybody, go out in the dark. Well, he's down at the ranch house. They're having coffee in the bunkhouse, and they get ready to go get in the pickup truck to go out to hunt. And they pass by the stables. And as they're passing by the stables, they notice themselves. They find this beautiful Palomino mare in process of giving birth to this little Palomino colt. And these two men watched in this early morning light. They just stood there for a while and watched this holy birthing process. And when they had watched for a while, the rancher leaned over and put his arm around my dad's shoulder. He says, you know, Ed, you've been such a good friend to me all these years. Could I give this little colt to your son for Christmas? My dad was like a kid himself. They didn't even go hunting. He got in the car, drove all the way back, picked up my mom and me and my little brother, and we go back to see that little pony. Have you ever seen a colt when it's first born, all wobbly leg, can't find its leg? I wish you could have seen my brother's face when he saw that little colt. And I wish you could have seen mine. But that rancher was a very sensitive and a very understanding man, and he could see something was going on inside of me, and he came over and he put his arm around my shoulder. He says, honey, I wanted your brother to have a little colt, but I wanted you to have the mare. What I learned that day is that when I direct my faith toward those things that I truly desire, not only am I blessed, but everyone around me is blessed. It's a powerful thing to know how to direct our faith.
Thank you, Reverend Edwene Gaines, for your kindness and for sharing with us how kindness to ourselves, as her little brother had, can end up in kindness spread around the world. Jude, please bless us with one of your songs. They are so kind.
Let there be kindness in all the world today. Let it be known that God alone can show the way. Let there be truth in all the hearts of men, for truth will make them free. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be kindness in all the world today. Let there be love in everything I do and say. Yes, let there be unity. Let it last through eternity, and let there be kindness in me.
Thank you, Jude. Beautiful. So welcome again, everyone. We are so glad you are here joining us, our essential personnel here in the sanctuary, and you are essential to our hearts. Let us join together. We know that there are many paths to God. So whether you're a saint or a sinner, we bless whatever path has gotten you to realize the gift of divinity, the G-O-D in you. And we bless each other, saying, we love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ in you. Who you are makes a difference in our lives. And that is really what our master teacher, our way showers' words were all about. Be kind to each other and let that Christ light shine. So we do. We hold this light up on a lampstand, not hiding it under a bushel, but saying, here we are. come and discover the divinity within you and within each other. Unity was founded on prayer. So we take a moment to go within, to that highest place in consciousness. And in this place of the Most High, we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, Mother, Father, God, for being that within us, which is the presence. We say yes to bringing it forward, to bless this world. And we bring these prayers into our sanctuary from our hearts, out into this world, spilling out of the doors of this sanctuary to the streets of Greater Baton Rouge, our state, our country, our continent, and across sea to shining sea, enveloping all of those in the world, all of those who are affected by any calamity, by any sickness. We see the Christ in them. We see that they are whole and well. And in faith, we continue knowing that we transform whatever it is that is brought to us. We are in dominion over all things. And it is the sacred human who overcomes. We will overcome all that is any appearance of negativity today. So I ask you to bring to mind those who are on your mind or heart in particular. See them raised to the Most High place and whisper their names in the quiet of your mind or into this sacred space. Wherever you are is holy ground. We remember all those whose names are in our prayer box, all those who in our fellowship are in any way affected by the coronavirus. We bring to mind all of those people in the world who are affected by this pandemic in particular. We bless them. We behold only the Christ in them, healing them, knowing that infinite good is radiating throughout their bodies, eliminating any unhealthy thought, word, deed, or condition. We behold the presence of God and turn there again and again, knowing that as we do, it is done. Amen and amen.
God in you, God in me is the love that sets us free. God in you, God in me is the light we all can be. It's the essence of us all, the whole of humankind. It's the source of all my good, the universal mind. And God in you, God in me is the truth of who we are. God in you, God in me is more powerful by far than anything we can think or dream. It's the best that we can be, and so it is, God in you, God in me.
Thank you, Jude. What a beautiful prayer that song is. God in you, God in me. Let us join in our statement of being, also known as Unity's first principle. There is only one presence, one power, and one intelligence, active as the universe and as my life. God, the good omnipotence.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. You're here to remind me of my magnificence, to help me awake to all the wonder that I am. You long to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved. We're here to remind us of our magnificence, to help us awake to all the wonder that we are. We long to show us how we're worthy of. We're here to remind us how much we're truly loved. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Thank you.
I invite Richard Gordon up to share the daily word.
Sunday, November 15th. The word of the day is kindness. As I flow with divine love, as I give and receive kindness is the phrase of the day. The word kindness triggers feelings of warmth, connection, and love in my heart. I smile as I recall ways that friends, family members, and others have shown me kindness. I feel again the gratitude and blessing I experience in those moments. Gratitude, love, and a beautiful awareness of connection fill my heart and mind in a remarkably similar way when I remember kindness I've shared. The movement of electrons through a wire creates a current, a flow. As kindness moves from person to person, it creates a flow of divine love. Both giving and receiving are essential to this current of love. So I look for opportunities to share acts of kindness. I welcome with a grateful heart the kindness others share with me. And our Bible verse is Micah chapter 6, verse 8. What does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God?
I once heard a powerful story about a man who stood in his truth with such conviction in who he was, he would not be moved. Someone stepped out of the crowd and said, "Are you Martin Luther King?" He said, "Yes, I am." And the well-dressed man spit on him. Then King took out his handkerchief and wiped the hate from his suit and gave it back to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I see your heart, I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. But I am clear who is standing here. I believe this belongs to you." I once had a powerful story I used to carry around. I thought it was you all this time that held my spirit down. Now I know the truth of all I came here to be. You are my angel in disguise and not my enemy. So I thank you for the part you played in this dance we had to do. I give you back your own true love. I believe it belongs to you. I will hold you up and do what I can do. I feel your heart, I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you up while you do what you have to do. I give you back your freedom now. I believe it belongs to you. I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you up while you do what you have to do. I give you back your free own true love. I believe it belongs to you. I am clear as I'm standing here. I believe this belongs to you.
Thank you, Jude. Whew, one of my favorite there, and Jude performs it beautifully. Random acts of kindness, a relatively new expression, but apparently it's been going on for at least 2,000 years. Last week we looked at Peter and John at the temple, at the gate called Beautiful of the temple. In Acts 3, we're told the story of a lame man asking for alms. And it is Peter that looks at him and says, "Look at me. I do not have silver or gold for you, but the Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Get up and walk." And the lame man did just that. In 1 John, God is defined as love. I like that. God is love. But what is love? Is love any less mysterious than God? Can we really put a finger on what is God? What is love? Kindness is love in action. Thank you, Richard, for reading the daily word. Kindness is what makes a difference in our lives. You may have heard, just do the next right thing. I've heard that often, but I don't always know. What is the next right thing? What is that goodness that lives and moves and has being within me, directing me to do? I don't always know. However, I've heard if you don't know the next right thing, do the next kind thing. That is always right. So Christ in you, your hope of glory, directs you to the next kind thing. Jesus, of course, took it up a notch. He said, "You've heard, love your friends, but I say love your enemies." Jesus always thickened the plot. I mean, that was fine for him, who, when Pilate was interrogating him and gets to the point where Jesus isn't answering his questions fast enough, and he says, "Don't you realize I have the authority to set you free or crucify you?" And what a kindness, Jesus responds. The authority is not yours. This authority is from a higher realm than you. Can you imagine if you had your doubts about persecuting someone, but ego and others were telling you you had to do it, as they were Pilate? That person that you were going to send to the crucifix said, "This comes from a higher authority than yours." And to Judas, who he said, knowing that Judas would betray him, do what you must do, and do it quickly. And we know that Judas took his own life as a result of his actions, but that wasn't Jesus's doings. That was Judas's own conscience. We might say the Christ in Judas that doubted that betrayal. But how? How do we, who are not Jesus, not feeling it today, not always, especially with regard to my enemies, how do I find whatever it is it takes to love my enemies? I mean, sometimes it's hard for me to love and show kindness to my friends, to those who I am married to. I know that sometimes I've prayed for my husband, please bless him because he sure needs a blessing. So how then does someone like me show kindness to my enemies? One who was not afraid of enemies was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, love is the only thing that can turn an enemy into a friend. An enemy is defined as someone trying to defeat you. Pray for them? Well, I've been taught that I should pray that they receive what it is I want. Not an easy task. However, if you think about it, all any of us ever really want, underneath it all, is peace, serenity. And how would it affect me if my enemy had that peace and serenity? We are all the beneficiary of anyone's peace and serenity. So if they receive that, much like Edwin's little brother did when he got the pony he wanted for Christmas, that benefited Edwin because she got a pony too, a mare. So thank you. If you're watching, Edwin, thank you for that story. Metaphysically, enemies are those negative parts of us that we want to disown and therefore often are unaware of and project them onto others. Hence the ancient adage, if you spot it, you got it. What if we were able to accept and give tenderness and mercy to those parts of us which we would rather disown, allowing them the space to heal with Christ-like listening, kindness to the lame parts of you allows you to show that same kindness to others. And as kindness moves from person to person, it creates a flow of divine love. Both giving and receiving are essential. The founder of this church, Reverend Marge Cass, told a reporter that her joy seminars stress looking at oneself and learning to know oneself, understanding what makes us do the things we do. She teaches us to embrace fear and to allow joy to go out and play, said the reporter. Marge Cass said, we can call all things good, even the discomfort. Then we can learn further and choose what our lives will be like. So when you spot it, accept all as they are, thereby changing yourself, fulfilling your Christ potential. Listen kindly to the child within you. I have a 2-year-old grandbaby who is trying so hard to be understood. Often, a child on a playground, if hurt, will run to its mother or father and just need the attention for a couple of minutes, kiss the bobo, and then they run and play some more. In her book, What's in the Way is the Way, Mary O'Malley says that those parts of us, those hurt parts, create spells from our childhood. The ways we have defended ourselves are like clouds that hang over the meadow of kindness within us. Trying to be understood by us. We are trying so hard to understand my 2-year-old granddaughter, who can mimic words and even say phrases, but she can't quite put the ideas together into a sentence that can be understood. She's trying really hard, but it sounds like, we give her the patience and our efforts to understand. That same patience is required by you with those lame parts of yourself. If you can show yourself and your anger and your envy and your judgment that same kind of patience, then you can heal them and go back out to play in the meadow of your world. Really, if there was not anger, how would we know serenity? If there was not fear, how would we know courage? If there was not judgment, how would we know compassion? Which reminds me of a friend sharing with me this week. She said, Lura Lisa, you really have the world by the tail. You're living your dream. And yet you feel there's a judge that's judging you all the time. Well, you know where that judge is, right here. If I can show, and I've been trying, compassion for that judge, I see you. I can hear what it is you have to tell me about why you feel that need to judge me. And I won't tell you what the judge answers. I'll save that for another day. But I've been hearing from that judge. So I want to give us a chance to listen to that inner voice, which is often a child. I want to take the time, but first, before we go into meditation to listen, I'd like to share some acts of kindness that have taken place right here in this sanctuary. Last Sunday, Richard Gordon, who was here to share the daily word and the talk with me, said last Sunday, since I'm already here as an essential person, why don't I come back to share the daily word next Sunday? Thank you, Richard. How kind of you. Kindness personified. And Cindy Wonderful, who you've heard it said, I'm sure more than once, don't tell my employer, but I do this job for free. I like what I'm doing so much. Well, Cindy actually said that to the board and so while she was at one time paid, she now volunteers. And she has created this community garden downtown on, of course, Myrtle Walk. And there What she is leading the community in is healthy food available just for the asking. Anyone who comes and asks can know they will receive that healthy food. Cindy, thank you for your kindness. And Jude, who last week invited us to pray for a member we haven't seen in a while. Matter of fact, since before I came, but Les is his name. And Jude invited us to pray for Les, letting us know that he was having a health challenge. And then later in the week, Jude sent out an email to the Chronic Healers, Silent Unity, our prayer chaplains, asking for prayer for Les. And so we do pray, knowing Les's health and wholeness, and that any appearance to the contrary is being eliminated. We have faith, and we know that faith will prevail. So to these kind ones, these wonderful people who are here, thank you, thank you, thank you for your kindness. And let us take a moment to turn within, breathing deeply, exhaling fully, finding that comfortable place in your chair, truly made by the hands of God, because human hands that make all that we see are God working through those hands. Perhaps now you want to go to a meadow where God works directly in your mind's eye. In your imagination, go to that comfortable place as you relax. As you leave at the doorstep any worries of this world, any doubt, any concern, leave it at the doorstep as you enter the sanctuary of the Most High, closer than hands and feet. You are there. Relax. Feel the palms, the arms of the Almighty holding you. Holding that child that is alive within you. The Christ in you as your hope of glory. Continuing to focus on your breath. Taking it all the way down to your heart. Feeling the love there. And breathing that love back out into the world. Our world needs our kindness now. Like a flow of electricity from person to person. We set divine love in motion through our acts of kindness. Knowing that divine love is flowing in you, as you, through you. Listen to the inner voice, that still small voice that you can only hear in the silence. And returning your attention gently into this present moment, to the outer sanctuary, the holy ground wherever you are. Let us take a moment of thanksgiving as we listen to the Alleluia.
Alleluia, 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 Alleluia.
Let us take a moment to put our consciousness into the divine flow, practicing the law of circulation, knowing to give is to receive. We open ourselves to all the blessings that are raining down on us through the windows of heaven. And our offering affirmation, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. Thank you, God.
So many things I can't control, so many hurts that happen every day, so many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind, we can take care of each other, we can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody wants to go to war. If everyone wants to make things right, What are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hand. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it, not enough to sing a song. We must walk the walk about it. You and I, do or die, we've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember we can be kind.
Thank you, Jude. Whew. Love it. Let us bless our tithes, our love offerings. Unity Baton Rouge is a diverse, growing, thriving, healing community of wisdom, love, support, and service. And we do bless these tithes and love offerings. We see them going out into our community, doing a kind act, a good in service of the world. And as they go out, we see them multiplied and returned as a blessing to ourselves, to the world, in this unbelievable chain of kindness and good acts. So we say thank you, thank you, thank you, Mother, Father, God. Amen and amen. You know, there are so many kindnesses that take place here. I hate to have singled some out that I was able to mention. I do want to mention one more, and that's how Cindy's dad helps her with our AV, which I am sure is one of the best AV services in the world. As Jude and I try to make it better and better in every way. And as well, Richard, thank you for that daily word, and Cindy. So any other announcements? We are actually ending our quarantine period today, and next week, next Sunday, we'll be able to come back. So we'd love to have you back. We'll keep you appraised of any other developments, but our one person who had developed COVID, his wife did also develop that, But anyone that has been here within the last 2 weeks, ending today, no COVID. So we thank you. We thank you, God, for that. And we'll send the email out on Wednesday confirming that we'll have service in the sanctuary as well as online next Sunday. Email unitybatonrouge@gmail.com or call 225-755-3043 at any time with any questions or any needs. In particular, if you're not receiving the Wednesday email, please do email us at unitybatonrouge@gmail.com to let us know, and we will put you on our email list. And please do remember the donate button on our website, as well as that Wednesday email that goes out. Sometimes the donate button on the email does not work, but it always works on our website, which is unitybatonrouge.com. Right? unitybatonrouge.com. Yep. Okay, we have formed a nominating committee to fill any open board seats. If you would like to be on it, where we will probably be meeting mostly on Zoom, please let myself or Joyce Harvey, our board member, know, or email us at unitybatonrouge@gmail.com. The nominating committee acts only from November through March of the following year, so March of 2021, when at our annual congregational meeting, we will elect whatever officers there are vacant seats for. So remember the Course in Miracles every Wednesday at 6:30. And on that email blast that goes out on Wednesday, you'll find the phone number to call Cody Connerow to let him know if you are desiring to be at the Course in Miracles. With that, Jude, will you lead us?
Edwin Gaines next week.
Will you lead us in our
Peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, we're a family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
and our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And some of you may know, we were supposed to have Reverend Edwin Gaines here to speak today. However, because we were quarantining, she's not here today. We will keep showing clips. I'm going to continue the kindness of not doing my corny jokes. I'm going to let a pro bring us a few more stories that we will so enjoy. Reverend Edwin will be back again, but we have yet to schedule that. So go out and let your light shine. Namaste.